A few months have passed since they beat the head vampire, and Ray went out for a run when he stopped to catch his breath. He turned and saw that he was next to the riverbank, so he pulled out his headphones, walked up to one of the cliffs, and sat down. He was lost in thought staring at the river when he heard someone coming up from behind. He turned to see a guy with short, dark red hair and blue eyes, wearing a white tank top and dark blue sweatpants walking toward him. The guy sat down on the cliff as well. "It's a little warm to wear sweatpants, isn't it?" Ray jokingly asked. I'm used to the heat." He turned to Ray. "It's a little warm to wear a sweatshirt, isn't it?" Ray looked down at the sweatshirt Danny gave him tied around his waist. "Yeah, my friend gave it to me before he left," he said. He stared back at the river. "I don't think I've seen you here before. What's your name?" "Nico," the guy replied. Ray's eyes shot back to him, realizing who he was. "Danny? The one and only," he answered, smiling. Ray jumped to his feet. "Danny!" he yelled as he pulled him into a hug. He laughed and hugged him back. "Nice to see you too, man." Ray let go and stared at him. "But there was a hole in your chest. You were dying when we left. How are you here?" Danny pulled the chain around his neck that used to hold the vial of venom. It was now empty except for the tooth. Venom. Danny flashed back to when Ray, Luke, and Andre left. He was about to accept death when he thought of a crazy idea. Maybe, he thought as he grabbed the vial of venom, opened it up, and poured it into his chest wound. It had no effect at first, so Danny slowly drifted off into death. However, he woke up a few days later in the same room. He looked down at his chest to see the wound has completely healed itself. He looked around some more and saw that everything was the same when he died. Confused about what happened, he got up and reached for his bag for his phone when he felt his hand burning. He pulled it out to see that it was covered in the crushed garlic salt. "Oh shit, it worked," he said with a smile. He dumped out the bag, brushed off his stuff with his shirt, put everything back in, and then ran outside the building. "So, you're a vampire now?" Ray asked, flashing back to the present. "Yep," Danny said, replying by showing his canine teeth. "Then, how are you outside?" "Before I died, Aaliyah taught me how to make a special sunblock that allows vampires to be out in the sunlight without dying. It was one of the most popular items." They both spent the next hour catching up on what had happened since the day. "So, have you seen your family or Aaliyah yet?" Ray asked. "Yeah, I went home and saw them. They were all super surprised to see me. They kept asking me how I was here and what happened. So, after I told them, they understood why I hadn't come home in a while. And then when that was done, I told them goodbye and left to go see Leah. But she wasn't there. Yeah, she and her family moved after what happened. With them being witch doctors, they thought they were going to have people going after them, so they left about 2 months ago," Ray replied. Then he started to get sad. "Did she say where she was moving to?" Ray shook his head no. "When you died, she spent the 3 next days just crying. She really loves you, man." "And I love her too," Danny said with his head down. "How's Luke doing?" "Luke blames himself every day for what happened. He never comes out of his room, and at night, we don't know where he goes." "He shouldn't blame himself for what happened. It was a suicide mission," Danny replied. "Just tell him that we all know the risk going in. I wish that I wasn't the only casualty on our side, but that's the price of war." "He's not going to listen to me," Ray said. "Why don't we both go see him?" "I can't," Danny replied. "I have to go." Ray gave him a weird look. "But you just got here. Where are you going?" "I told you. I'm on the run from the hunters. They aren't too happy that their leader was killed, so they've been tracking me down trying to kill me. As you can tell, they aren't great at it, but I'm not going to gamble with it." He stood up and brushed himself off. "So, is this the last time we'll see each other?" Ray asked as he stood up too. "Maybe, but if I'm ever around, I'll let you guys know," Danny replied. Ray pulled him for one last hug. "Be safe out there, man," he said onto his shoulder. "You too," Danny replied. After they broke the hug, Ray stared at Danny's chest. "Nice to see that you're finally wearing shirts." He chuckled and rubbed the back of his neck. "Yeah. Hey, do you want your sweatshirt back?" Ray asked as he reached down to untie it. "Nah," Danny interjected. "Keep it. It suits you better than it did me." He waved goodbye and started to walk away. Ray waved back and turned around to continue his run. He smiled as he made his way up the hill, checked to make sure no one was out of sight, then pulled off his shirt and tucked it into his shorts. He ran the rest of the way home, smiling the whole time.